Okay, so let's get started. Today we're going to discuss about the different wait utilities which are available with Selenium. Okay, and what is the need of these wait utilities? And right now, if you want to wait at certain point of time in our code, what we used to do, we used to add a thread.sleep statement, right? And why that is discouraged, why that is not a good practice to have thread.sleep, we're going to discuss that as well. Okay, so let's take one example in which there is a website, okay, and the website is having a dynamic content. Okay, say for example there is a button, or say for example there is some functionality in which when we perform the action, say for example I'm going to click the button, and then the button is going to go to the server. It's going to send a request to the server. The server is going to process that request and respond it back. Okay, so what is happening, we're having 2-3 steps over here. First of all, we're navigating to the page, then we're waiting for next, then we're trying to click on the button. Okay, once I click on the button, say for example it's a bank account, okay, or a bank website in which when I'm trying to click on the button to fetch my account balance, what it does, it sends a request to the server. The page is the same page, it's not changed, the page is the same page. On the fly there is a request which goes to the server processes, checks my account in the database, finds my account balance, then responds back. So what happens, it takes some 2-3 seconds or 5 seconds in case of there is a slow network, and after 5 or 10 seconds I get my result, or I get my account balance on the page. So this wait time, so this is something like it's not loaded initially. The page which we loaded with driver.get, or the page which we have navigated, is not having all the contents at the initial time. So after performing certain actions, what happens, some data is loaded on the fly. Okay, so I'm going to give you some of the example. I have created a simple HTML code. So this HTML code, if you look at these, what it does, it is having a button, okay, and if somebody clicks on this button, what it does, it is going to wait for some time, then it is going to display one of the image, or say for example it's going to write something into the division. So this page might be having some error, but we're going to see how the dynamic content is getting loaded. So I'm having that HTML page in this folder, so I'm going to go to that page. So it is saying click on the button to wait for 3 seconds, then it will display some image. Okay, so if I click on this right, so it will take some 3 seconds, then it will try to perform some action. Suppose I want to display one image over here, so after clicking on this try it should wait for 3 seconds, then it should load the image. Okay, suppose this is the scenario. Now this image is not getting displayed because of some error in the page. But say for example this is the scenario. What we should be doing, we'll be navigating to the URL first, driver.get, then we'll be finding this element, try it button. After finding this element, we'll perform the action button.click, right, or the web element that we have found, and we'll try to perform the action calling the web element dot click function. So after that a server request goes, okay, and it takes some 2-3 seconds and then comes back and we display the page. So over here we don't write a normal Selenium code. What we write, we find the element, we perform the click operation, then instantly if we try to find the image, it's going to fail because the image is not yet loaded. So what we do, we put a thread.sleep statement, right, and we say that okay, it may take some 5 seconds. Okay, we give some value, approximate value, but we never know how long it is going to take. So that wait is some explicit wait. We don't know, it's a wrong way of waiting because we never know how long it is going to take for that image to get loaded. So in those cases, maybe the image is loaded in 2 seconds, okay, and we're trying to find the element as soon as possible. So we're trying to find the element in the first second, the image is not there and we have failed the test case. Are you getting me, everyone? So when there is a dynamic page or the page value which is getting downloaded from server after some user action, okay, so in those cases what happens, we give a thread.sleep. We never know how long it is going to take. So when we say wait for 5 seconds and the image can be loaded before 5 seconds or the image can be loaded after 5 seconds, we never know that. And there are different scenarios in which the server may get slower, it may be loaded before 5 seconds, but even if it's loaded before 5 seconds, we're still waiting for 5 seconds. Or if the element is not loaded within 5 seconds, which we have expected, now the server is getting slower, so image is loaded in 10 seconds. So after 5 seconds, the thread.sleep is complete. We're trying to find the element and we're still not finding the element. It is going to throw the error again. So there is a way to handle such problem. We should never wait for a fixed amount of time. Rather than that, we can give a condition, wait until this element is visible. Okay, so it is not going to wait for 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Rather than that, it's going to wait for 1 second. Again, it's going to search for the element. If the element is not found, it's fine. Again, it will wait for another 1 second, and it will keep on doing the same thing again and again until the element is found or a 10-second or 20-second limit has reached. So this is going to help us in a lot of ways. So let me give you one of the live examples which I'm going to do right now. So I'm having this code. It's an HTML code. Okay, so this is the page in which what I want is, after clicking this button, let's see that this there is some element over here but which is not visible, or there is some element which doesn't have any value. After 3 seconds, it's going to get that value. So let's the example which you have talked about, let's say it's about the banking page or the banking application. So what I'm going to do, this is the button. So if somebody clicks on this button, it's going to find my account balance from the server. Okay, so bank account balance. Okay, this is the page, and in which I'm going to click on this button which is going to fetch balance. Okay, so now that's done, and after some time, say for example, now this page is refreshed. So bank account balance. So when I click on fetch account balance, it's going to take some time, then the balance should be displayed over here. Fine. So there are some error in this page. Let me fix it quickly. So okay, right. Okay, now the page is ready. Okay, what we are going to do is, say for example, this is the scenario in which what we need to do, we need to navigate to this page. Then we need to click on fetch balance. We're assuming that it's making a server call, and after some 2-3 seconds it is fetching the account balance. But initially when I loaded the page, it didn't have any balance. Okay, but after clicking on this button, we're waiting for some time, and then the balance is getting fetched, right? So what is going to happen? Let's write the code for that. So I'm going to create a new project, or let's take the example of the, okay, we can reuse the last project which we have used. So let's create a new Java package. So right click, create a new, and we're going to create a new package, com.example.wait-util. Fine. So we have created a new package, and I'm going to create a new Java class. Let's give it a name, wait test 1. And now the new class is created, and we are ready to write the code. Okay, I'm going to copy the code from the last example so that I don't need to write entire things. So this is the main method which I have copied, and I'm going to paste it over here. Fine. The basic thing that I need to do is set the drivers, then the driver equals to new WebDriver or Firefox driver, and the rest of the things are not that important. I can delete them. Fine. Now we need to navigate over here. We're navigating to GitHub, so I need to navigate to the page that I intend to test. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this URL, right click and copy. I'm going to paste it over. So I'm navigating to that page, and I'm maximizing the window, and I'm sleeping for 2 seconds. So let's remove all the sleeps that we have. Now what we can do, now we need to find this button, right, so that we can perform the click operation on that. So I'm going to right click and click on inspect. So when I do that, it's giving me this information. It says it's a button, and there is no ID, no class, nothing attached to that, right? So let's find this button using the tag name, or let's see what are the different options available with Selenium. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a new web element, and I'm going to call it the fetch button equal to new driver dot find element, and I'm going to use by dot tag name. So over here I'm having just one button in the entire page, so I can use the driver find element by dot tag name button. So it is going to find me the web element. Now I have access to this button. I have the reference of this button. What I need to do next is I need to perform the click operation. So fetch button dot perform the click operation. Fine. So after clicking on this fetch button, suppose I have clicked on this fetch button and it has fetched my account balance, and it is called as account balance is 1 2 3 4 5 6. And what I need to verify now that there is some account balance which is greater than 1 lakh. Okay, this is 1,23,456. I need to verify that the account balance is greater than 1 lakh. So to do that, I need to check this balance amount which is fetched from internet. So I'm going to inspect that element. So it is very simple. Click on this icon and find this element. Okay, this is called DYD DYN IMG. So it's pretty simple. If we have the ID identifier, okay, if we have the ID identifier, then we can easily find any element. Okay, so this is the page, and over here we are talking about this element which is having the content which is fetched from internet or which is fetched from some server after some time. Right now we're not fetching from internet, we're just giving it a timeout. Okay, so after some time the data is getting fetched. So let's do one thing. Let's find this division by using the ID, that is DYN IMG, and let's try to find the text that it contains. Fine. Okay, so this is the image. So I'm going to find the web element account balance equals to driver dot find element by dot ID I'm going to give this element. Fine, now I have the account balance, but this thing, it is going to contain the entire text, like, so for example, this entire text, this is the entire text which is going to be contained within that. But we need to check, we need to find out the last part, right? So we need to find out the last part. To do that, we can use some Java methods. So this, okay, this is the entire text which we are going to retrieve from the server. So this is going to contain this information, but we are interested in the last part. Okay, so we'll use certain Java methods to find out that one. So this element is just referenced by account balance, but we have not yet found this value. To how to find that value? So it's a string value, account balance text. So whatever text it is containing, I'm going to find that using the get text method of Selenium web element. So now this element is containing this text, and I am interested in finding out the last part. Okay, to do that, I am using a string array. It is a string array, parts of message, the message that I have received, account balance, if for example is called message, account balance message that I have received from server is containing 3 parts separated by some spaces. Okay, so I'm going to split this information using a specialized method in Java string class that is called split. So account balance message dot split. So I'm using the split method, and I'm going to say, okay, whenever you find any space, split that. And when this entire string is split, it gives rise to 3 different strings. So I'm going to put this first part of the string in this arrays, 0th index, this one in the first index, and this one in the second index. So what is happening now? This entire thing is being kept in an array of strings. So I'm interested in the last part, so that is called the amount string, amount in string format equals to parts of message and the index 2. So anyone having any doubt in this line, let me know, I'll explain it again. In just these 2 parts, have you understood how I have got to that?
No, sir.
You're fine, or you're having doubt?
Sir, having doubt.
Okay. Okay, till now you have understood till this much part?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So now this variable, string variable, is containing the text that is displayed in this division. Right now it is containing all the 3 parts. In string class, Java string class, what we can do, we can split the array or split a complete string or a bigger string into small parts using like this is the small character with which they are getting splitted. So I can use this delimiter or this character which is going to break the string, complete string, into 3 parts. To do that, I am calling the method split and I am giving this space. So what this split method is going to do, it is going to look into this string, and whenever it finds a space, it is going to break that string. So now this is one string, this is second string, and this is the third string. Got it? So I'm going to get 3 different strings, and to hold multiple data of the same type, okay, we can use array or we can use this list method, list interface, right? So this method actually it uses the array and it returns that array of 3 strings. So now these parts of message, that array MSG, it's containing 3 values, 0th, first and second. We are interested in the third part because we want this value to be present and this value to be greater than 1 lakh rupees. So we need to have this value, right? So I'm taking that value using the index 2, that is 0, 1 and 2, the last value. So now this amount string, empty string, will contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this was the original string, right? Now we have removed everything and the string is just this one. Now we can put our logic. But before putting our logic, as we know, an integer value cannot be compared with a string value, right? So this value is actually a string value right now, right? Because I am holding that in a string class, a string object. So what I need to do is, I need to first convert this amount string into an integer value, int amount integer equals to do that I have this method integer dot parseInt, and I can pass the string that I wish to convert to integer. Now this amt integer is containing the value 1 2 3 4 5 6, but this one is an integer and this one is a string. This is in string format and this is in integer format. Understood, Sanya? This method, it converts the string into its corresponding integer value. Now I can use the if-else condition. If amount and integer value is greater than 1 lakh 1 2 3 4 5. Fine. If this is greater than this 1 lakh, then it is fine. Sys out the test succeeded, else account balance is low, and the balance, if you wish to display, you can display empty. Is it fine? Have you understood
Yes.
this much? Okay. Now let's look at the code that we have written. I have opened the driver, I have maximized the window, then I'm trying to find the button, fetch button. I'm performing the click operation on that. After that, instantly, I don't have any thread.sleep over here, right? After that, instantly, I'm trying to get the elim account balance. Okay, account this ID. I'm trying to find this ID. This ID is visible, but initially it doesn't contain any value, right? So when you open the page, if you click on this and try to find this element, it doesn't contain any value. But after 3 seconds, it's containing the value, right? So till now, if we face such situation, what we used to do, we used to give a thread.sleep over here, right? We used to give a thread dot sleep over here, and we can give a sleep for about 5 seconds, because within 5 seconds it's going to display the values. That way we have passed the test case and we have performed the operation, and it was fine, it was working fine for us. Say for example, this is taking a lot of time, it may take some 10 seconds, then we don't need to come back and change our code, because tomorrow it may take even more time, right? So that is one problem. So let's do one thing. Let's first run this code with the help of some 5-second wait, and let's look at the result and how it is working. So I think everybody is fine with this part, right? Anyone having any issue, let me know. I'm going to run the code. And we're running the code on which browser? Firefox, right? Right click, run as Java application. Okay, it didn't work. Okay, let's run it on Google Chrome. Okay, it worked with Chrome, but I don't know why it's not working with Firefox. Let's run it again on Firefox. So hope you'll have an idea how it is running. Now I'm running it on Firefox. Okay, hope this time it will run. Come on. No, Firefox is not able to find the button. So the selector that we have used now to find the element is not working with Firefox. Anyways, we'll use the Google Chrome driver for some time. Okay, and we will see. Okay, now this is the Firefox driver. I'm using the Chrome driver. Okay, maybe the tag name is not working with you. But now look at this code. What is happening? It is using Google Chrome, clicking on the element and waiting for 3 seconds. The balance is displayed. But after 3 seconds, once the balance is displayed, it's not yet moving. So over here it is waiting for 5 seconds. But after this line is complete, when it reaches this line, by that time the account balance is already displayed. So it is possible to go ahead with this approach. But the problem is, say for example, over here the server takes some more time. It takes some 10 seconds. Okay. Suppose over here this balance is getting displayed in 3 seconds. Suppose the server gets slow and it takes some around 7 or 10 seconds. Okay.
It's 11 o'clock.
10 seconds. Now it's going to create a problem. We may not be able to find the balance after waiting for 5 seconds and trying to find the balance. So it is going to create a problem for us. So let's run the code, and now there is just change in the server side. We have not changed any code, and we're trying to run the test cases. Now you can see there is some error in the page. It is saying that array index out of bounds except on line number 10, this one 34. Okay, so it is trying to get the value, but it doesn't have the amount displayed. So the problem over here is we're trying to wait for a fixed amount of time. So it may fail under certain scenario. To basically solve this type of problem, we need to remove the thread.sleep condition. Right? Now we're going to remove this, but we're going to replace it with one of the utility which Selenium has implemented. There are two types of waits which we can use. One is the explicit wait, okay, and one more. The second one is the implicit wait. Okay, the explicit wait is explicitly waiting for one of the elements, or explicitly waiting for one of the conditions. Okay, say for example, I want this element to be displayed, then only I should proceed to the next part. So over here I have to provide a thread.sleep. So I'm going to use explicit wait. So in case of explicit wait, what we do, yes, we specify a wait not using thread.sleep, but we say okay, wait for 10 seconds or wait for some 30 seconds, but until this presence of the element is located. So this is the most important thing. We say that this element needs to be visible, then only we should proceed to the next part. So let's use this statement in our code, and let's see how it is going to help us. Over here what we are trying to do, DriverWait. So this is a class which is available with Selenium, which says how long do we want to wait for the element to be visible. We know that this account balance should be fetched within 10 seconds. otherwise it's not going to come. So we're going to give the maximum seconds till which we need to wait. So this is going to take two arguments, and the second argument is timeout in seconds. So we're going to give the driver reference, and the timeout it should wait for 10 seconds until the element, there are multiple conditions, expectations, okay, expected conditions. We need to import that, it is imported, and then there are methods, many methods available. So alert is present, and say for example, now we want the element to have a specific text, element frame. Okay, now text to be, okay, it wants the element, this locator, to have this text. So use this one. So what we're trying to do, we're going to check if this element is actually having this text or not. So text to be by.id, this id should be having this value, comma 1 2 3 4 5 6. Wait until expected conditions dot text. Times 1 and 2 more brackets need to end. 2 brackets ended. Okay, so what we want the web element account, this is the account balance web element. Okay, now we have found the web element. Now the next thing that we are going to do is new web driver wait. I'm giving the driver, and the timeout is 10 seconds. So this is going to be the wait we are going to use. Dot, okay, we're going to give dot wait until until now expected conditions dot element text to be present, and what text we want to be present in the element, that is account balance element, and the text that we want is, so for example, 1 2 3 4 5. Until this text is not visible, I'm not going to go to the next part. Okay, now the result is boolean value. Okay, everything is disconnected. Okay, let's complete this one. Now what we are doing over here, we're trying to wait for maximum 10 seconds. Okay, this WebDriver wait says that you can wait maximum 10 seconds, but within that it is going to wait and it is going to continuously find for this account balance element. This is the dynamic image. So if we have the UI, okay, it is going to check this division and continuously wait until this element is actually containing this text. So it will not fail directly, rather than that it will wait continuously until 10 seconds is crossed or this element is having this value. So, and I can have a sysout. It will say when the element is present. Is present, and I can write is present. So now we have given a timeout of about 10 seconds for this page, this value to be loaded, and over here we're going to wait for, say for example, maximum 11 seconds. Okay, and let's run the code. Okay, now it says that the element is present, that is true. So what is happening over here is, suppose the page sometimes loads even slower, so we can give a timeout. Suppose, and I know that the server can can take a maximum of 20 seconds. Okay, maybe the server is fast today, so what it has done is it has taken very less time. Suppose, say for example, it has taken just 2 seconds for the page to load. Now the server is going to take just 2 seconds. If you click on this, after 2 seconds the balance is displayed. But if we have a thread.sleep for 20 seconds, it's going to wait for 20 seconds, extra 18 seconds. So that is a wastage of time. With this code, what is going to happen? It is going to check this condition until it is going to wait for that much amount of time. So until this text is present in this our division, if this text is present 1 2 3 4 5, then it will automatically go ahead and it will not stop. It will not wait for explicitly 20 seconds. Rather than that, if this element is present in 2 seconds, it will go in 2 seconds. If the element is present in 5 seconds, it will go ahead in 5 seconds. So that is what one of the wait condition of Selenium is. See, now the code is going to run very quick and it is going to find the element in just 2 seconds, right? If we would have given a thread.sleep for 20 seconds, no doubt our test case will pass, but it is going to wait for extra 18 seconds. Okay, so we'll have more discussion on these wait conditions, because there is one more condition which is called that one more type of wait util, that is called as an implicit wait, which we are going to discuss in the next class. So if you focus more on the expected conditions, there are a lot of expected conditions if the alert is present in the page or not. Okay, so it is going to wait not for 10 seconds for the alert to load, Rather than that, we can give expected conditions if the alert is present or not. So as soon as the alert is present, it will go ahead. It will not sleep constantly for some amount of time. And we can even add more expected conditions. So we'll discuss more in depth of this expected conditions in the next class. So right now, I think this is somehow you need to go through this code to understand how this one works. And always remember, this is the maximum time that we can give. So within this time, the elements should be visible, or the elements should be present, or this condition should happen. Okay, fine.